What's going on, guys? This is the part 2 of our base rankings, and in the last video we got up to Aventis as the perpetual DEX ranking, and now we move on to some of the star tokens. In this part I will do a lot more tokens. Some of them I'll go into much more detail, others we just keep it moving and let's go. All right, so the next base king, in my opinion, is Virtual's Protocol. Now, Virtual's Protocol is a little bit different, and it has its own star agent within the ecosystem. In my opinion, this is fighting to be at the pinnacle of the base blockchain. So this is, I would say, 1 or 2, the top ranked by market cap on the base ecosystem. And in terms of the actual utility, this is very close to being as perfect as it can get when it comes to the role of AI agents. Virtuals is the AI agents launchpad. Okay, it's an absolutely money printer. 43 million in revenue. 12% of all the base ecosystem app revenue comes from Virtual's Protocol. 12%. That is a significantly high number, and you've got to keep that in mind. You know, the society of AI agents, this is something that eventually will dominate the scene, and you are already seeing some of the refresh of their website and how they are positioning themselves. The numbers are quite staggering, in my opinion, and it's just going to grow. I think it will be as AI agents advance. Don't forget, society will be more dependent on AI in the future. So whether it's capital markets, whether it's a butler service, whether it's an e-commerce or an agent commerce protocol, whether it's even robotics, this has a significant longevity than the average shitcoin in the market. And in my opinion, whether it's a bear market or a bull market signal, you've got to be able to mark down as a potentially defining top base project. Okay, so what do? You can create, launch, tokenize AI agents directly on chain. Each AI agent becomes its own token, and people can co-own agents and interact with them. Now, the star agent within the ecosystem is Aixbt. That is a trading assistant that can, you know, with a market cap that hit previously I think it was $600 million. Okay, and that was, you know, virtually one of the best performing AI agents, along with Virtual's Protocol, all-time reference costs. And of course, these consumption or the computational data are run by these AI agents are paid through Virtual token. More AI usage equals to more demand for the token itself. Virtuals is capturing the AI x crypto narrative, of course, almost from anyone. Real revenue, real world product, real innovation. And I think the agent meta, when it comes back, if the narrative continues to grow, it will get bigger and better. So this could be one of the top leading base tokens. So we put that right at the king of base level. Now, the next king of base is Aerodrome Finance. And you got to hear me out, because a lot of people that have Aerodrome Finance don't necessarily have the conviction, and some people who don't have Aerodrome Finance who would like to get into Aerodrome need to understand what it does. I've been holding it, I've been buying it on the lows, and the base token is not a threat here, as was originally imagined when the FUD came. So this is currently the king of base when it comes to real revenue. Okay, and this shouldn't surprise anyone who's been paying attention to the space. Aerodrome liquidity is the backbone of the entire base ecosystem. Every swap, every trade, every token launch, it flows through Aerodrome. Now, the numbers are absolutely insane. When I was doing the research for the video and doing a refresher on Aerodrome, this essential liquidity marketplace of base is a real thing. Okay, 160 million in revenue, 43% of all base, 23 billion in trading volume in the last 60 days. The deepest liquidity pools on base by far. Without Aerodrome, base doesn't really function at all, and that's going to remain the same. And how it works is basically uses a model from, of course, Optimism's Velodrome Finance, where you lock Aero tokens and you get what's called VE Aero. And you vote on the pools, receive liquidity incentives. And, here's the key. 100% of the trading fees go to the voters. And you're not just staking, you're directly, of course, directing the economy of the ecosystem and getting paid for it. And mostly that's why Aerodrome is one of the most staked cryptocurrencies out there, right? So in terms of the, we don't want to connect wallets in there, but this is like, you can see here all the different liquidity pools on Aerodrome, and autopilot as well is quite key. But look at that, fees, TVL, volume. At the moment, volume currently, daily volume of the token is around $100 million or thereabouts. But this is definitely one of the kings. Every other project depends on it. And revenue is dominant, volume is dominant, liquidity is dominant, ecosystem dependency is an absolute. So that's why if you look at the kind of like these last 5 that we've ranked, we looked at Zora, creator economy. We looked at Toshi, the people's meme coin or the base mascot. Aventis, that is, if you're going to look at perpetuals, then of course there's competition. There's Asta, there's Hyperliquid and all the other good stuff. But if you're looking for something on base, Aventis is probably the main infrastructure for that. If you're looking for AI exposure, AI Agent King with 43 million revenue is a Virtuals protocol. And of course, if you're looking for the liquidity hub, the backbone, Aerodrome is the king of the jungle. Now, of course, let's continue to rank some of these other ones, because in my opinion, while we have those 2 kings and then we've got going places in Zora, and I genuinely believe, look, I think Zora and Toshi will be there. And, the fact going places just means that these other protocols are just way more established. Now, the next one is, which one should we do next? Let's go and see if I have it here. Where's the next caller? All right. So this part 2 is going to continue to dive into some of the, everybody loves, these are purely subjective, of course. None of this is financial advice. And the altcoin market is very, very volatile. But for me anyway, off the bottom, any stuff that I bought in the last 90 days, I am killing it and I'm in massive profit on. So you've got to be able to trade some of these, or, when the market is absolutely frothy, then you are going to make those 20, 30, 40 X's if you are patient enough to stay in the game. The next one is AUKI. Okay. Now, AUKI is because everybody just gets on the hype, and sometimes people don't understand. They don't understand the risk. So let's just put the AUKI bad boy here. Okay. So AUKI, a few more of these. They build in what they call their spatial computing infrastructure. Think of AR, and VR, and of course metaverse, and they're creating a decentralized network for spatial data, mechanics, or machines, humans that can be shared. Now, of course, it's positioned in base and mixed reality applications that need to be faster, cheaper, and it basically, think of machines, think of virtual reality adoption, incredibly high risk, and it's definitely not a king material. So for this one, I would probably say leave it in that shitcoin space. I am a fan of the concept, but it's just another shitcoin, right? Next bad boy is, so at the end of the day, let's look at SAPIEN. Okay. So SAPIEN is another protocol on Base. Now, if you look at SAPIEN's market cap, where's SAPIEN, where you at? $40 million market cap. Okay. So SAPIEN has a trading volume of $12 million. So what is SAPIEN? It's tackling data problems for AI specifically. They are building the infrastructure. If you look at their website, and if you look at where they are, they've got these massive spikes, of course, pump dump, pump dump, pump dump. But they are a native base coin or token, powering AI with human data. Now, here's the thing. Chain of thoughts, 3D, 4D data specialization, peer-to-peer powered quality. Low cap, 40 million, decent volume. Not the worst token in the world in terms of tokenomics, right? It is bad. And, you know, nobody can say otherwise, because when you look at tokenomics of such disparity, in my opinion, I love the fact that it's got a decent trading volume to market cap ratio. Okay, that's fairly decent. Now, why does it matter? AI is it's only as good as the training data, garbage output. SAPIEN is getting that decentralized human verified data that will be more valuable as the chain scales. Strong thesis. Execution is everything. All major AI labs start sourcing data through decentralized protocols. SAPIEN could explode, but we're way too early for that. And for that reason, I would say if you are looking at SAPIEN, I would say SAPIEN right now is going to be on a neutral stand to not a fan. Why? Because of the tokenomics. We've got to be very honest with where the tokenomics are, and that is going to be an absolute killer. Now, the next one is on multi-chain. Okay. And I know nobody's talking about this because I'm one of the few people that has done some research into a project called River. Now, River right now is Ethereum native, and it is a low cap stablecoin protocol that is also built on Base. Market cap is so small compared to what it does. I think River has every potential of becoming even bigger. Why is that? Yeah, you're looking at the market cap here, $300 million. It has shot significantly since it was flagged at the depths in the recent recent market lows. Now, outstanding token value, of course, 1.7 billion, and this is a cross-chain protocol and chain abstraction stablecoin system connecting every asset to an opportunity. It is not just only native on Base, but it does have Base utility. Morpho is one of the protocols it runs on. It runs on Base natively, layer 0. It is actually a cross chain. But the fact that they are very, very close to the Morpho team, I think is one to keep a very, very good eyes and ears on. Currently, could be going places, $300 million, but the recent price explosion would suggest we need to see exactly where the listings are. The trading volume is incredible, and I am looking for a strategic investment when it comes to stablecoin protocols. Chain abstraction stablecoin system that enables cross-chain collateral yield liquidity. So it works with most of the chains, right? Powered by Omni's CDP stablecoin. Of course, River token is available on some limited exchanges. We don't really have, I think it could have been, yeah. So we still haven't got big listings. No one actually knows about this. So that is a drop, not only native to Base, but it could be, it could be going places. I would say keep your eyes and ears on that. Next one is Beam. Now, Beam this is an interesting one. It's a gaming crypto that struggled to find a market fit based on the narrative depression. It's built on Avalanche. It's an AVAX subnet that lives on Base as well as other chains, but the Base token has a very, very good liquidity. Of course, Beam has some of the biggest game or gaming developers in the business. The narrative, if it heats up, I would say Beam could be one of those layer ones that could potentially go places. In my opinion, I think the only way will be significantly up in a gaming season. This will do incredibly well, considering $3,000 fetches about $1 million Beam at 15-20 cents. You'd be making a crazy amount of money. Not financial advice. While we're on the subject, ZENTRY. Now, ZENTRY is they're building what they call the metagame layer, essential for connecting games, communities, and experiences into one unified ecosystem. Think of it as a universal gaming identity and economy that works across multiple different platforms, chains, and they move to, they are on Base. They need fast, cheap transactions, in-game economies, NFTs. Base delivers all of that. What I would say is this is a very ambitious vision, but just like I was saying about Beam, if they can get things right, if we have a good gaming season, it could well be one of those that needs to be watched for breakout. Execution and partnerships will determine, of course, a massive gaming season where there's just pure speculation, heads are gone, and the rest is just history. So I would say I would put that one right now as a neutral, because the more it kind of, the more you look at narrative, the more you just need to get in the right time and dump it in the right time. Now, one that could be going places is reserved rights. Reserved rights is a governance token for the Reserve Protocol, which creates asset-backed stablecoins. Their flagship RSV stablecoin is backed by a basket of assets. Now, that's going to be important, guys, because as we look at the stablecoin growth within crypto and the Clarity Act, which we covered extensively in this channel, you could see here huge, massive pumps in terms of, I don't even look at the price. I normally track market cap, because if you look at the price here, it is absolutely gone. Market cap, which is equivalent to the TVL, would suggest that there is big pumps and dumps that happen in this token. Market cap 180 million, fully diluted 200, a meager 14 million trading volume, and of course a lot of dumps has happened, but the supply demand dynamics have shifted. So this is a governance token. Now, in my opinion, if things pick up, I could see this perhaps being interesting people again and potentially going places. Why? Because of this stablecoin narrative, as I've just said. When you look at stuff like this, it kind of seems, okay, asset-backed world reserve currency index the world, the current stage of indexing all of crypto. Anything that's RWA and anything that has utility when it comes to stablecoin and can get compliance, you've got to be watching that. Reserve rights has been expanding across chains, and Base's stablecoin infrastructure market makes it a neutral fit for their RT token, okay? Or the R token, sorry. Stablecoins are the backbone of DeFi. Reserve rights is building the infrastructure that could power the next generation of decentralized assets, stable assets I'm talking about. They have a proven team, check. Real product, check. Regulatory awareness, check. So that, not the flashiest project, you're not gonna, this ain't gonna make headlines. However, probably worth paying attention to Base. And when it comes to this, take a 3 to 5x and get out of here. Okay. Now, the next one is not a native Base token. However, they are taking advantage of Base every single day. One of the greatest charts in the entirety of crypto, one of the most highest alerts in terms of my Nansen smart money alerts. $400 million market cap. It was only a few days ago when I was telling the team to look at this at 300 million. And what you will see here is a market cap to TVL ratio unlike anything else in crypto, right? This is absolutely telling you something. In the past 30 days, I've recorded something like $4 million of smart money going into Maple Finance. You may be thinking, DXB, you've got this on the base side of things. Why is that? Well, they are on base, and they're working very closely with the likes of Morpho, Coinbase, asset management, on-chain, and this is going to be massive, in my opinion. Okay. And if you look at this, trusted by Coinbase, Bitwise, Sky, Anchorage Digital, Galaxy Digital, Circle. You can see these bad boys are in the thick of it. Okay. So people shouldn't really ignore what they're doing. So this is basically giving you, we went from reserve rights of, stable coins. This is institutional grade DeFi lending. They provide under collateralized loans to institutions. Maple has facilitated billions. Okay. And then, of course, expanding into the base ecosystem. And that's why it's super interesting. So as TradFi merges with DeFi, Maple is positioned to be in the mix. Okay, you've got to be, they do what's called credit assessment on chain, and that is going to be quite revolutionary for adoption. Real revenue is my verdict. Institutional clients expanding deeper into base, real world assets, institutional DeFi narrative, and that's something you can actually take a longer term position on, in my opinion. So where do we put this? In my opinion, this is not only a base king, but I think this will be a DeFi king in the future. It will be an RWA giant. Okay, next one. Let's do Echelon Prime. Now, Echelon Prime, before anything, it's a game. It's powering the gaming ecosystem of Parallel TCG, a high quality trading card game with real competitive gameplay. What makes it different isn't just, it's not just a crypto, it's an NFT slapped on. Parallel has actual gameplay, depth, tournament scenes, passionate community, and all of that. It is basically the few gaming projects that are genuine product or have a genuine product. However, gaming is bad overall as a niche, and this one has not really performed to any expectations, but I'm not surprised because the reason why is the narrative is offside. Should a narrative come back, I'm gonna remain neutral right now, right? You could put it as a not a fan, but you can remain neutral. But let's just go here. Let's put this as a not a fan for now, but it's no different to the Beam or ZENTRY or any of these other tokens that are specifically on game. I do have a bag of Prime. I do have a very low average in terms of my overall in the average. I think it will do well, but right now it's not the time to be doubling down on gaming. The reason why I say, for example, Beam is a layer one, a bigger market cap, and has a massive treasury, so could be going places, but these are slightly more higher risk. Okay. Next one is a Cookie DAO. Now, Cookie DAO is an AI agent index. It is it's an index. It's like the chain link of AI agents, if you want to call it. It has a central Bloomberg terminal for AI agents, and of course, that makes it very interesting. Indexes and tracks all AI agents in real time, provides data to the market, social engagements, and holder activity, offers APIs for other projects. And in terms of stats, over 25,000 creators have joined the platform. They process 7 terabytes of live data feeds in real time, and that's important. As the AI agent space takes off again, cookie is going to be the data layer for these AI agents. Now, first mover advantage in terms of indexing, and of course, it becomes a permanent fixture in the space. Right now, it has suffered massively. However, in my opinion, long term, it should be going places. Let's speed up the video. Now, next one is Moonwell. Moonwell is a lending and borrowing protocol. And of course, it's on Optimism and Base. There's a recent drama with Moonwell when it suffered a $1 million exploit due to a Chainlink Oracle malfunction, as they call it. Bad news, but handled it transparently, and they survived, right? What they're building is basically virtual bank accounts that convert fiat into USDC automatically. Moonwell card, flagship USDC vault powered by Morpho. They're building a consumer-friendly DeFi experience. And in my opinion, you know, the Oracle hack was rough, but their responses was good. Still, top lending option on Base, potentially. I would say right now, I'm not the biggest fan of Moonwell because the first pump a year and a half ago did us very well. That brings us to Kaito, an AI-powered Bloomberg terminal. Again, another one founded by the former Citadel portfolio manager. What it does is it aggregates data from social media, such as news, research papers, governance forums, uses AI to cut through the noise. And of course, then it gives you actionable insights such as YAP program, which rewards. I've always seen, you know, Kaito yappers on X, right? 10 million raised from Dragonfly, Sequoia, and Spartan Group. 1 million registered users on Yaps. Token has hit $1.5 back in May. Information is going to be the edge. However, I would say I am definitely not a fan because of their tokenomics. So we keep it moving. Keeta is the most ambitious project, is the next one, right? Now, Keeta is very, very ambitious. And let's talk about Keeta a little bit, okay? It's a project that's building the world's most scalable blockchain, 10 million transactions per second with 400 millisecond settlements. The former Google CEO, Eric Schmidt, invested 17 million of the 22 million raised, and that's not just the capital. That's a big connection, right? The tech they've achieved, 11.2 million TPS in June, which was a stress test verified by third parties, including the Google, I think it's called the Spanner team. And that's massively fast, right? Keeta deployed on Base Anchor in September 2025, which enables it to become a cross-chain transferer between Base and Keeta. You know, this is going to be a good on-ramping for Keeta's high-speed infrastructure. Built-in KYC compliance, on-chain credit bureau with Solo, and native tokenization with FX capabilities. If they can deliver, I think this is going to bridge TradFi and DeFi at scale. Now, Schmidt is backing this, and that adds it to a serious weight. And in my opinion, Keeta is going places. Now, initially there was the community was complaining about a pump and dump, and naturally, of course, people have to sell when the token pumps. No F's given, but I think Keeta is going some places. Okay. The next one is a current king of TVL and importance of the Base blockchain, and that is Morpho. Interestingly, when market was dumping and prices were just shitting the bed all over the place, it held together very, very well. And I did make a note several times in the community, and I did say to the team that, guys, this is going to be our chance to keep watching this, because Morpho is the largest lending protocol on Base by TVL, with a massive, massive TVL. Over 1.4 billion deposits alone on Base. Peer-to-peer lending layer that sits on top. It sits on top of the existing protocol. It optimizes yield by matching lenders to borrowers. And of course, permissionless market creation gives me a vibe of Aave, but on Base. The institutional adoption means that Coinbase has integrated into Morpho for crypto-backed loans. Societe Generale uses the Morpho infrastructure as well, which is quite key actually. It's a French bank if you guys don't know what that is. But look, it sits behind only Virtual's protocols by market cap. So this is a very important protocol. Massive TVL, 150,000 active users, 2.5 million on-chain transactions. Lenders have generated over 100 million. It's not just another lending protocol. They are becoming the main recognized lending layer for Base. Of course, Moonwell, Seamless, and others all use Base. I mean, Morpho. So this is going to be a DeFi lending powerhouse, of course, similar to what Aerodrome is to the Base dexes. It's a foundational infrastructure. Biggest institution in crypto choose this particular project on Base when they interact with Base. This almost takes the crown in terms of the value, the TVL, and stability of the token. So Morpho goes straight to the kings of Base. Okay. Next one is Bread. Bread still remains by market cap a significant project on Base, but I'm not a fan. And there you have it, guys. So, you know, going places, neutral, not a fan, shitcoins. Of course, there could be a lot more shitcoins if I continue to add some of the meme tokens on Base. But some of these shitcoins will do very well. You have the likes of Keycat, Ski Mask, Dogging Me, of course, Degen here, $54 million market cap, and Base still remains, look, 36% by Brett over everything else. So at the moment, I think Toshi will eventually get its way back to the top. Russell, I think I gave Russell in the VIP Discord at around $1 million market cap. Brian Armstrong's dog. And there you go. You know, shitcoins, of course, Benji here at $3 million. Base, Pepe. There's a lot more we can go, but let me know what you think of this Base, and let me know what you think of the video. Of course, as always, smash a like. God bless you, and I'll catch you on the next one, guys. Take care.